Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with total carbs under 20 with my keto program every day. And so recently you may see that I've gone through a little bit of a transition, not so big of a salad. So I'm making a smaller salad. I seem to be craving the baby butter lettuce from Olivia's and putting a scoop of very small, about 40 grams worth of uh, organic cottage cheese on it, plain, um, full fat, and surrounded by a little circle of chopped up avocado. And on that, 1 tablespoon of macadamia nut oil and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin EVU organic. And it seems to be working for me. And so it's just a small change up. I'm just not having that great big salad anymore with the assorted lettuces. Sometimes I change things up and it kind of works. And so I've been doing it with my waters, I've been doing it with my coffees. And so, yeah, and because it is fall, it just works. And as I just wrote to somebody in answering their posting, it's like I'm thinking more French, smaller portions, much more rich and elegant. Okay? So, yeah. So my tummy's not going to be totally full with the volume of the bowl of lettuces from before, but I'll have a nice little very high fat content side salad with whatever meat, fish, or leftover stew type thing that I'm having. And it works. So today's little topic is rituals, routines, and responsibility. And I love alliteration, so of course that's where you're going to get all that. Are you ready for those things? Now, for some of us, I feel that rituals and routines are just a comfort. It's just a nice flannel sheet like they give you at the hospital. It's kind of heated a little. They take it out of that little heating element thing, and you just wrap yourself in it, and you just want to go suck your thumb in the corner. But alas, you can't. But you want to. And so that's how that feels to me. The ritual and routine of putting my foods measured strictly and structured into my chronometer. I put the phone next to me and I measure the things that I'm having as I go along. So even though what I'm having is obviously there, it's like the baby butter romaine or the avocado or the cottage cheese, for example, it's being weighed and measured in grams in the chronometer. And yesterday's reading could have been different by a couple of grams because after I scoop out the cottage cheese, it could be 38 grams, it could be 45 grams. So I'm going to put exactly what it shows up when I put it on my scale that measures in grams. And it just works. And the routine of doing that is something that I do every day. There's really no days off for me with my keto program and managing my food addiction. It's not something that can be cured, but it can be managed rather nicely by putting in my foods before I have them, sometimes the whole week in advance, and then just tweaking at the end with the certain measurements. Like, I have a tenderloin steak on Thursday night. Sometimes it might weigh 4.5 ounces, sometimes it might weigh 5 3/4 ounces. And so I weigh it, and that's what changes, not the item, but the weight. And it just keeps me comfortable. It keeps me safe. It keeps me not wondering what I'm having and how much it is. I like my macros. I like learning about foods. I like seeing how they mix. And if you're new to keto or new to tracking or just new to some sort of structure in your life or new to chronometer or chronometer, what it does is it just shows you. So like say, you put your day into the chronometer and you wake up the next day and your tummy, it's sour, it's not working. Well, you can go back and see, did you try a new something vegetable or something like that? Did you have too many ounces of like a processed meat versus like a tenderloin, a pork chop, a burger patty, something like that? And so suddenly that 4 ounces of Genoa salami is really kind of feeling like it's agitating your insides because it's kind of processed. It does have carbs in it, and because there's fillers in it besides just strictly meat. So the things that you might learn about yourself, and if you didn't weigh measure, the items the next day, and your tummy feels, you know, you won't know. You won't have any data to go by. Or say you had say you had a pork chop sauteed in coconut oil, you had a side salad, you had 40 or 50 grams of asparagus roasted, a nice little meal. It looks great. You have it on a smaller plate. You have your salad in an appropriate size bowl for the amounts that you're putting in. And it just all looks lovely. It looks full and abundant, even if it's a bread and butter plate holding your pork chop and your 40 grams of asparagus. That's how I operate. That's my head. And so by doing that, it's just comforting. It's calming. It's safe for me. I know what I'm having. And then the next day, if I was to have some sort of great energy or feeling great or not constipated or just feeling greater than usual, it's like, ooh, that little dinner works, versus waking up the next day and going, too much fake sodium table salt in it, or it just aggravated my tummy. I could just feel it. It just doesn't feel good. There's a bitterness down there. And you know that maybe the next time you have that Genoa salami, maybe it would be best to have like a whole lot less than however much you had, maybe chopped up in a great big salad with a couple of hard-boiled eggs. Maybe that would sit better and you get your food craving in. Or maybe, cut the ounces in half, roll it in cream cheese, something like that. And so you could have 2 ounces of Genoa salami, 2 ounces of cream cheese, and it looks the same, like with carbs, calories, the macros, protein, fats, as if all you were having was the salami, and yet, you're cutting that part in half, so you're not irritating yourself, and you're having that wonderful cream cheese that just, when does cream cheese not work? When does it not work? You had a cream cheese omelet? Yeah, it's wonderful. So, and so the other R after the routine and ritual is responsibility. Whose responsibility is it? It's yours, right? So, if you're not happy with your weight, if you're not happy with the shape of your body, if you're not happy with the way things are turning out, whose responsibility is it? Is it your significant others that, like, you have been maybe known to blame in the past? I wish you wouldn't eat that in front of me. Now it makes me want it, and I'm going to have it, and it's all your fault that I'm not following my keto plan. You're not like that, are you? You don't, like, point the finger at somebody else because you don't want to be responsible for slipping up, sabotaging, cheating, not following your program. And then you have to, like, admit it to me here, maybe, Sarah, I didn't mean to, but he made me. No, he didn't. She didn't. The car didn't. Your boss didn't. Nobody caused it but you. So responsibility is a pretty big banner up there. And with your routines and rituals, you should be getting happy and comfortable enough that if you didn't do it, you would feel it all day. Kind of like people that do exercise every single day, and the day that they don't, they spend more time thinking about the day that they, you slacker, you're going to gain all the weight back, you're going to whatever, that crazy thinking about exercise. Forget about it with keto, okay? But if you didn't weigh and measure, if you didn't put it in your tracker, and you get to your second meal of the day, and, you're all over the place, you don't even know how much you had, what the portions were, and then you're slapping together something that looks kind of keto for dinner, but you don't know what it weighs, and you're pouring the oil on it like that. No, you don't want to do that because it's going to make you feel sloppy. It's not going to give you that structure, that discipline, that nice measuring. So if you've got a routine and a ritual that you follow in the morning, like for me, it's my lemon water with the salt in it. and my little 2 powders with a little Dr. Price electrolyte on top to take away some of that. And then having that, and then having my coffee, which I always do in the NutriBullet. So it's kind of like a latte with froth. That lasts me most of the morning. And if I didn't have either one of those things, I'd feel off. I'd feel off. And so, like recently, like I said, changing up the lettuces. Okay, so this is what my gut told me to have. Have some cottage cheese. Have some avocado instead. You know, your carbs, my carbs are 13.5 today, even with those things. And so it's not like I'm breaking the bank with my total carbs because I'm having cottage cheese and avocados that are known to be higher in carbs. No, it's not that way at all. In fact, it's very decent because I'm not having my like 6 to 7 total carbs of all the lettuces. Plus, I'm saving 2 tablespoons of oil, which I like having in the avocado in place of it. Right now, things could change, just like my coffees have changed, just like certain things have changed. I'm not going carnivore. I'm just cutting down on a lot of the leafy greens that when I had them the other day and I had that roiling in my gut for hours, it was like, thank you. Okay, message received, like I'm a dispatcher at the police department. I get it. I need to cut down on my leafy greens, not eliminate them, but just have a smaller portion. But then, of course, I'm going to be hungry. So what does that mean? For me, it means adding more fats. So I've got those 2 tablespoons of oils that I adore, and I've got the cottage cheese, and I got the avocado. Both have fats in them. Both have extra carbs in them. And so those things will be satisfying to me. And like I said, it's good. But the ritual and the routine of my water, then my coffee, and then paying it, you know, going into keto and tweaking as I go through the day with my like OMAD, putting it together. How many ounces is in that pork chop? How many ounces is in that portion of salmon? You know, change it from the 6 that I had a few days ago to like only 4.5. Well, maybe I could add, you know, a few more grams of avocado or a few more grams of cottage cheese and balance it out. So I'm having my macros be the same, you know, the kind of higher fats, not off the chart. Let me show you what I'm having today. It's my leftover stew. And so I'm having that today. And, but what are my macros? So it does say my fats are 127.9, but let's go to tomorrow. Tomorrow I am having, it's the taco salad. Okay, so I won't do that one because it's in a recipe. But I'll do Wednesdays, which is showing that I'm having a pork chop, okay? And so I go in to see what my macros are. And once again, I'm having that smaller salad. So my protein is 48.5 with the cottage cheese and the pork chop. My protein, my calories are 1450. My protein's 37. My carbs are 7.5. And, my protein is 48.1. And my fats are lower. They're at 113.5 rather than what they show today. And that all works. And I should be satiated. And like I said, I eat in a smaller bowl or a smaller plate to match the portion, because it's not that I have portion distortion, but if the plate looks fuller, and even though it's a bread and butter plate, if the plate looks fuller with that pork chop sitting on it on a bread and butter plate rather than, the dinner plate where it's like, help, I'm all alone. No, it'll be just fine. And then my salad, I have some square glass plates. So now with my smaller salad, it's really like an elegant looking kind of, one of those sides that you get at a fancy restaurant that costs you $10. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So that's how I roll with it. Just little tips from how I do it. I stop drinking water over an hour before I eat, And then after I'm done eating, I don't have any more water, so the digestive juices of my OMAD work through. And then I'm not getting up to pee, 2 times a night anymore. And then in the morning, I have my 20 ounces of lemon water, and then I have the big bottle of San Pellegrino, and I'm rehydrated. And then at noon, I have my supplements with another 20-ounce bottle of water, and then a smaller San Pellegrino. And all of that just kind of works for me for the day. But I stop the water over an hour before I have my OMAD, and that's it for the day. So it's only digestive juices with my OMAD in my tummy. That seems to be working too. So that's just Sarah with her routines and her rituals and her responsibility for herself.
I'm a big girl when I want to be.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom in Food with keto, total carbs. That's how I roll. Lesser veggies these days, but I still have them. And if you are wonky and want to learn how to take care of your body with your routine, ritual, and responsibility through me and the Chronometer, well, come to ketocoachingsarah.com. Join me. It's kind of fun. And we become really good friends because I'm checking out what you're having every day. And it's just developing really good routines, rituals, and responsibility for yourself. So when I cast you off after a month or 2 or 3 or 4, you do just fine, thank you very much, with your own keto program with some good basics under your belt and less belly under your belt. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with the 3 R's. Bye-bye for now.